You're still watching. Where is National Hugging Day? Hug yourself. It's an annual event dedicated to hugging. It was created by Kelvin Zabone and occurs annually on January 21st. The day was first celebrated on January 21st in 1986 in Clio, Michigan, USA. The holiday is also observed in many other countries. The idea of National Hugging Day is to encourage everyone to hug family and friends more often. Zaboni cautions to ask first if one is unsure of the response, as respecting the personal space of others is always important, and some people are not huggers. Are you a hugger? Who is a hugger here?
I'm a hugger.
Really?
I'm a hugger.
I'm not a hugger, actually.
I love to hug, yeah. I hug myself.
So maybe holding hands. I love to hold hands, you know. But hugging is not so much my...
Yes, thank you.
Actually, I don't like to hold hands.
Really?
I don't like
Yeah, I
to
don't
hold
like
hands
that.
at all.
But I rather
hug.
I rather hug.
Really? I'm not a hugger, but I have one child that is a hugger.
So you do have a choice.
Whether you like it or not.
It's gonna hug you.
He wakes up in the morning, he comes to hug me. He's going to bed at night, he comes to hug me.
But you know, boys are
me.
like that.
Really?
So I have 2 girls and a boy, and my boy hugs me. I'm not even exaggerating, maybe 10 times a day.
Wow.
Yes, I'm not exaggerating. So boys are huggers. They hug more.
My kid brother is our last born. He's always hugging. Once he sees you and you're stressed, he will hug you.
No.
You're
my son
happy,
does that
he'll
as
hug you.
well. Yeah.
I get back home and I see him like after a long time, he will hug. I'm like, it's okay.
No, I don't. I want you. Give me more.
You know, so I mean, it's actually interesting to hear that boys are huggers.
Oh,
so
boys
that
are
means,
huggers.
what then happened along the line? They tell him, man up. It's
Yes,
not a
thank
man-
you. Yeah, then they start to hold it inside. Yeah.
Because my son is actually a hugger. Oh, gosh,
Yeah.
he hugs,
My
man.
son is a hugger too.
Okay, so what did we find in the news? Who am I starting with? Let me start with Manny. I think you're ready.
Okay, so Punch says that the reps order probe of contract kickbacks, extortion by MDA officials. The House of Representatives is investigating the alleged collection of illegal charges imposed on contractors by ministers, departments, and agencies of the federal government, which go as high as 25% of the project. This is really high. So at the plenary on Thursday, the House unanimously adopted a motion titled Need to Investigate Unlawful Administrative Charges and Levies by the MDAs. So for me, I just think that it's high time that this happens.
We've
because
always said it.
it's high time because these kickbacks are illegal payments, you know. So, and it's not going to the government, it's going to their own pockets. And it has a lot of disadvantages. The first we know is that the contractors are unable to complete the project. You know, sometimes they abandon the project or they do not complete them.
I know how many projects my dad had to turn down, government
Yeah.
projects, because when you quote this thing, they sometimes they take even as high as 70%, 50% off the money.
True.
So
Yeah.
what do you want me to use to do the project and complete it?
They don't
You know,
care,
there's no
so
point.
that's why the projects are abandoned.
Yeah,
They
so-
cannot keep to the terms
So
of the
if
contract.
they really follow through with this,
It's gonna
it
be
will
very-
be a
yeah.
major transformation
Yeah.
for capital projects that we have in this country.
But this is such a disgrace. Come
a big
on.
disgrace, but
you
you see-
get paid for your work.
Eh.
Someone else comes to get a contract and you say I want 70%.
So that's why we're saying we
Like,
should make
come
governance
on.
less lucrative for them.
Yes.
And put in the structures.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
think
agree.
most of these people who end up winning these contracts, they end up being in debt because you use your money and then
No.
nobody is
No,
paying
that's
you.
why
are wiser
they
now.
abandoned the
They just
project.
abandon it.
Yeah, like I can't do it.
the contractors are wiser now. It's in those days that we had nice contractors.
So what
This
do
one,
they do now?
You've collected because you can't come and fight me now. If you, I will expose you.
Yes, exactly.
So they too, as they collect their own, everybody goes back, and nobody does the job.
So
That's-
basically,
that's
it's
what
just
we-
left there.
Of course.
Okay, but these people complain about certain people in government, and yet look at what they're doing at their own levels. It's such a disgrace, anyways.
Well, that's what we see.
Such
So we
a
have to put a
disgrace.
structure.
Yeah.
Jennifer, your story.
Borno student slits 11-year-old's throat for refusal to run errands.
What?
Yes. So a senior student of Academic College of Islamic Theology, Maiduguri, has slit the throat of an 11-year-old junior student. So basically what happened was he told the junior student to go get him something and the junior student refused. Then at night he went to the guy's hostel, took him to a very secluded area and slit his throat with razor. So he left the boy there.
The boy died?
Yeah, the boy did not die. So the boy found strength to get to the principal office, and then they took him to the hospital. So he's still in the hospital. A lot of his trachea and everything is just damaged. And one of the staff said that this is not the first time something like this is happening. And the parents of the senior student are saying they shouldn't press charges or they shouldn't talk about it so much, so that it won't get to the news and the students won't be on blast. And the staff also mentioned that it has happened a lot of times that the school doesn't report these cases. So they basically just hide it. So there are people who are probably have been killed, people who are injured, or who cannot come back to school because of issues like this.
So this is a very serious issue. Yesterday, I'm part of an NGO called the Fundación Éxito. Yesterday we had a webinar on saving the children, protecting the children, because of all these issues that have arisen in recent times, from Sylvester to the girl in Abuja, to the boy, I think, in Abuja as well. It's crazy what you just said just now, like they are trying to suppress this news. Even the schools are a big part of it.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? It's on the news. It's on
and
the
again,
news.
let me tell you something. The school is a reflection of the larger society.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So what is happening? A lot of things happen. See what happened clearly at the before everybody's eyes at the Lekki toll. That happened in front of the whole world because we're watching on Instagram Live, and the government tried to, sweep it under the carpet.
Yeah.
So this is just a reflection of the larger problem that we have in the society, and it's really sad. It tells you how deep we've gone.
Very deep. So what we are doing now is very good. We're calling them out.
Oh yes, please. Yeah. We need to.
A lot of parents need to start speaking up and holding schools accountable.
Yeah. All right, my story is actually a video. I would like for you to watch it.
If it is a house where you live in, where every morning you can wake up and look at the windows and look at the door handles that are all of gold and silver and brass, fantastic. But you go and sink in your village home where you rarely stay. House or houses or an empire that you have sunk in billions to build where you and your family will rarely stay. Is that not foolishness? Hear me, ladies and gentlemen. One of the things we need to do in this climb is to always ask God for wisdom to teach us to do the right thing. Yes, we can build our homes in the village, but something moderate and cute, something lovely and wonderful and cute, something manageable and cute. It's wonderful to be in our village homes, especially a place where we know we don't stay all the time, where we just visit as if we're on holiday. Why waste such money there? If you have too much money that you don't know what to do with it, why don't you go buy lands, build an estate, and rent the houses out to people? Subsidize the rentage so that people will be able to pay for it. And then you can be helping humanity.
All right, thanks for staying with us. So that was Eucharia Anunobi, the veteran actress, talking to, I believe they are Igbo men she was talking to, all these people that go to the village to build. Because today we're discussing financial freedom. Yeah. And that was why I thought to bring up the video. I found it very interesting. I don't know why, a lot of Igbo people build, because you would see, like, I've been to a village one time, around nothing. Right in the middle of bush,
nowhere.
You see a big mansion. Who is living inside of that place? There was the one I saw that the street was, I'm not exaggerating, it's the beginning of Legally Ayori, all the way to this Oniru Junction. That was one man's house, the beginning to the end. So it was a sign of, then that you have arrived. So the house has to be big. Yeah. Even my friend's house that I went to Unko, their house was so massive, but right there is covered in bush. So I don't know, Jennifer, maybe you should help me understand it.
Okay, so one thing here, if you've not built a house as a man in the Igbo land,
you've not arrived.
You're not the son of the land. Let's start with that. So there is that pressure to want to build so much, either build something or build something that is bigger than the other family's son's building. But then at the end of the day, I mean, I understand where Eucharia is coming from, but there is a foundational problem. It's deep-rooted. So you have people that have gone through Biafra. I mean, my father tells me every day, anytime he has the chance, he tells me about Biafra. He tells me how he doesn't think that the Igbos are safe in Lagos. That anything can happen. So if something happens, it means that you need to have something back home to fall back on. in terms of how big the structure is or how small, I honestly don't think you can really police people on how they want their houses to look like.
It's a waste.
I understand that it's a waste. I mean, it's not something I subscribe to, but I get where they are coming from. A lot of people are still scared. A lot of people, and they don't feel safe. Sometimes you even have Igbo people or Igbo men that are abroad, and they still come down here, they go to the east, they build a house, and then there's nobody living in it. I think there's just somewhere at the back of their mind that if anything happens, one day something will happen. I mean, nobody suspected that Biafra was going to happen. So if something happens again, if there is a war, or maybe something comes,
if there's a war, it will reach everywhere now.
Well, you have, so it's like, okay, I am back home with my Igbo brothers and sisters. We are all safe together. We are safe. I'm not paying for rent. So if, as push comes to shove, if money finishes today, I know that I have a house. So I won't be paying for rent. I only have to bother myself about food.
You know, the thing is, you are the new generation Igbo person. So I think you guys should start to change the narrative. You understand? So that the younger ones coming will not just think that we are preparing for war. So let's save something for it really.
Yeah. And again, for me, it was more of the financial part. You know, if you actually want to, why don't you invest in, like she advised,
like she said,
build the estate, give subsidized homes, you know, because that house, honestly speaking, is money wasted. Is not a, so for those kind of houses, they are not assets, because the value, it downgrades because when you don't use a property,
even the location of the house is not
it's not an asset. You know, so if you really want to be charitable like that, where you build those palatial kind of homes, why don't you do something for humanity? I think it was worth talking about. All right, we'll take a break. When we return from the break, we want to discuss financial freedom. Stay with us. We'll be right back.